Hey guys, Nin-Game 10 Master Joe here, and welcome to another part of my Let's Play of SSX Tricky. In the last part, we completed my favorite track in the game, probably in the whole series, the Tokyo Megaplex. And in this part, we're moving on to the Aloha Ice Jam, our hardest track in the game. Now before we go any further though, I want to show you more in depth of the trick book, because previously I've only talked about it a little bit. Now, the trick book is just a list of tricks that the game wants you to do and events in the world circuit. If you complete all of them, then you get the best board in the game, as I've said. Now, you have 6 chapters to complete, and you can only complete the previous chapter before moving on, so you can't do chapter 2 tricks before completing chapter 1. The higher the chapter, the harder the tricks. So right now I did a chapter 5 trick, and chapter 4 and chapter 5 tricks are the hardest to do. The technique I used to complete the trick book was I went to Garibaldi's show off and I completed as many tricks as I could in one run, using the big jump in the beginning to my advantage. If I couldn't do a trick in the big jump, then I just restarted. If you're gonna do this, don't restart if you do a trick, because it won't count.
Aloha Ice Jam, once the crown jewel of the SSX World Circuit, has undergone some changes this season. Chiseled from the polar ice caps and brought to the South Pacific locale in beautiful Hanalei Bay, Hawaii. This course has 18,000 feet of new shortcuts, making it more fun and challenging than ever before. SSX, the quarterfinals. If sport transcends human limitation, let it be here that we reach our zenith with these young legends.
Hey, Kaori, you wanna get some pizza or something after?
You are very sweet!
So let's get on to the first event, shall we? I'm doing race first, and then show off. This track is so short, it's about 2 minutes 30 seconds long, that I was able to put all the events in one video, so yay! Okay then. Like I've said before, this is the hardest track in the game, just because you're doing a lot of racing and a lot of tricks in this really narrow space at this high speed, especially at this part of the game where you're supposed to go really fast, you're supposed to upgrade your speed, so you're going really fast and it's really narrow, and there's not a lot of big jumps to do tricks. So you would think that you would be able to do a lot of tricks in some of these jumps. No, because it's so easy to fall off the side of the track, and it's so easy to hit one of the walls. Now, as every single other video that I've shown previously, just follow the route I've gone through, especially this route. Don't crash there. Just go through the glass. The reason is because, like I said, this is a legitimately difficult track, especially considering it's a huge difficulty jump between the Tokyo Megaplex and this track. Take this big pipe thing. It really helps you, because the other route is full of ice and zigzags and you won't get good traction and you'll fall behind. It's terrible. If you fall down halfway through, don't worry, because it is hard to jump in between the pipes and not fall down. Just make sure you don't crash and try to do that. So yeah, for this track you don't have to do too many tricks, because boosting really isn't the biggest thing about this track. The most important thing, oh by the way, take this shortcut, is the most important shortcut in the track, and if you're in second, it will get you to first. Trust my word about this. Anyways, so don't trick too much, because boosting isn't that big of a deal. Instead, you should focus on keeping control, because it is so easy to crash. Like, I'm surprised I didn't crash that many times in this. Like, usually I crash 8 to 9 times and still I can get first. But just try to keep yourself in control and you'll be golden. It's, like I said, it's a very difficult track, so I mean, do whatever you have to do to keep yourself in control. What else is there to say? There's a few shortcuts I skipped. Oh yeah, this particular run, I actually glitched the track and managed to get a really fast time. I wasn't able to duplicate the glitch, but yeah, it just happened while recording. It was the strangest thing. So I just float or fall in nothingness doing tricks as I go along. It's really weird. If you can do this glitch somehow, be my guest, but I don't know how that happened. I was hoping that I would hit that in-between part where the statue was to get a high jump. I did get a high jump, but it went over the wall. So at some point in time, oh, after it said I hit a checkpoint, I restarted hoping that I would get somewhere in the track, and I did. I got really far ahead. It's kind of cheating. No, it is cheating, but it's just a weird glitch. I don't know. So this is a bad example of how to complete the track, just because it's not conventional. What else is there? Like, there's other shortcuts that I don't take in this track just because they're not worth it. There's one track. No, there's one shortcut at the beginning that may or may not help, but it's hard to get. It's at the right side after the tunnel, and then there's another one that I'll show you when it comes out. Oh, here's some outtakes for the third and final event, just because I missed the shortcuts multiple times. Here I took a shortcut that I didn't show, but yeah, I missed the shortcut. So this run, I tried to keep up, and then I missed the major shortcut, so I restart. Then I do more tricks, I crash, restart, again knock down, I fall off the ledge. So I was like, you know what, let's make this a perfect run. Or let's make this a not fall down and reset yourself run. Luther is in the way again, but JPN Luther knockout, or wipeout, so I zoom right past them, don't have to worry about them anymore. Get a weird rail glitch. Yes, so when I was practicing and replaying this game, it just kind of reminded me how kind of sketchy the physics and all that programming is in this game. Surprisingly glitchy, but it's still a great nostalgia factor. Like, I was laughing at myself for how stupid I was playing and crashing and trying to do all these wacky tricks. And I was also hardwired for SSX 3, where if you let go of the buttons, it resets your tricks, and it resets you so that you're facing the floor. And I had to get used to that again in SSX Tricky, where it doesn't reset you. So here, I miss. I hit the sign, but I miss the pipe shortcut. But that's okay, because there's a second way to get ahead if you miss the pipe shortcut. If you go down, see, it's really icy here and it's really curvy. If you go to the left, there's a pipe. Ideally, you want to ride this because it's still faster than going around and having to do all those turns. And ride that rail. Normally that rail is for another shortcut, but that shortcut I don't like to take because it involves jumping from rail to rail, and that's kind of sketchy in this game. Anyways, here I also missed the same shortcut, but I'm so far ahead from my previous videos that I actually just go ahead with it, hoping I wouldn't crash. And there, Mac got really glitchy, but managed to not crash. I swear I should have crashed there, but I didn't. Instead, he just stuck to the floor like glue, and I made it without crashing. Now here, if you do take this route and those two double tunnels, take the left one, because the right one is full of ice and it forces you to do an S-turn, which you will crash into the wall if you don't have enough edging. But yeah, that's the race event of Aloha Ice Jam. That's all I can pretty much say in a 7-minute time period. Like I said, it's a very short track, even shorter than Snow Dream. Much harder than Snow Dream, definitely. But it's just because of the narrowness and the ice and the lack of boost that you will get in this track. Ugh. Now we're going to move on to the Freestyle event, which I equally had a lot of trouble with. Now, yeah, it was just crazy. In this upgrade here, I upgrade stability and edging because I really don't need any more speed. Like, when I was practicing for this, I realized I had too much speed, that's why it was so hard to control. So, when you're building your character, I still suggest you build tricks first and speed last. Because less speed you have, the easier it is to control, especially on this track, especially on the next track where there's a ton of ice and limits you to how you can turn. Now we're moving on to the freestyle. Like I said, you want to take one of these rails. This is the first majority of your points. Now you see, if you see in the top left corner, the bronze medal mark is really small, like it isn't a high score at all. That's because it's deceiving. It is really hard to get points in this track. And I mean really hard, just because of the lack of jumps and the amount of small jumps there are. Like it's ridiculous. So you want to, for you to get gold, I suggest you take the exact route I have on this run, like I said before. But you want to get onto this. This is the most important part of the track. You want to get onto that rail and hold the boost button. Do not jump. Hold the boost button. Do a tricky trick if you got your boost meter up, and you'll get gold and silver. Now here, I tried to cheat and get another gold, or try to get another 5 times multiplier to get the gold, but I failed the trick, and so it doesn't work. But don't worry, if you get that multiplier, then great. If you don't, that's fine. I'll show you an alternative resolution for this problem. Now, do not take the big pipe because it doesn't give you anything. Do not take the rails over the river, which you might have seen before. That doesn't give you any points. So what you want to do here is, in this curvy part, you can make it act like a half pipe because the turns are so nuts. And there's multipliers here, so if you jump in the right locations, then you can get multipliers with your tricky tricks. You can see here I got a ton of air. I got the gold medal because I was able to do tricky tricks on there. So, I gotta stop saying tricky tricks. They're uber tricks, you freaking moron. So yeah, that's how you get gold in this event. It takes a lot of practice. It took me a lot of practice, but you just gotta keep going at it. And if you make a few mistakes, don't worry. As long as you keep yourself in control and keep your speed to a minimum. That's the most important thing. Don't take the left shortcut. It is not worth it. There's nothing there for you. If you keep going here, take this rail, and at this point in the track, the only other opportunity to get points is at the very end where there's this big jump. So yeah, that's all I really have to say about the freestyle event of this course. Try not to jump there, because it's a tunnel and you'll get so much air that you'll hit the ceiling. It's kind of bad course design. Also, playing through this game, I just kind of realized how different the track design is in between this game and SSX3. SSX3 is so much more balanced and well polished, while this game, it's creative, but there's so many parts where you're like, that shouldn't have happened. So I crash and I slowly slide into first place over the finish line. So yeah, that's my video. I hope you liked it. Check out my channel, comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you guys whenever I upload the Alaska video, because I still gotta practice for that. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Watch which upgrades I have, and yeah.
You've earned a place in the next event. Well done. Your ranking is now Sensei.